What's up, you absolutely wonderful Magento loving friends of mine? Joseph here with another practice test question for you this week. I am a fan of this question because, honestly, I did this yesterday. And on the surface, it seems like, wow, you're providing three answers that are pretty much the same. But we're going to dive into this, and you're going to see that it's not quite so simple. Let's see what this question is all about. Here we go. You have discovered, oh my word, a 3 gigabyte table in your database, which honestly could be worse, which contains logs of customer email contacts. So basically somebody fills out a contact form on our website and it gets logged here, for the sake of posterity and backup. You know how this stuff works. You determine with the merchant that this practice is no longer necessary, but get this, the merchant wishes to keep a backup just in case. You'll find this code in the third-party module. All right, here's what this is. So we have our class, and then we have extends, and then our save contact method, and set email contact save. So this is what we found in a third-party module. To be very clear, neither you nor me wrote this code. Like this is not something we would have written, but we found it, and so we kind of have to live with it. So let's see what the question is here. Keeping maintainability in mind, where do you redirect these logs to the file system? It's not a question of how you redirect this to the file system. The question is where. Where do we place this code? So we have a couple of answers. And we love these answers, right? Because they all look exactly the same. Let's dig in a little bit though. Create an around plugin for customer model log save. Use an after plugin, so we see the two changes, around versus after, but this is the same. Well, actually, this is a different method here, so we have two different methods. And then finally, create a around plugin for the resource model log save. Now, so how do we approach this? To be frank, at least two of these options are viable options. I think you hopefully already spotted the answer that is not viable, and this would not redirect to the logs. All this is going to do right here is save to the database and then save to the logs if we were to use an after plugin. So we can axe B. So ultimately, we have two different options here. Create an around plugin and around plugin. So basically, our approach is going to be using an around plugin based off of this answer. But we need to come up with where we place this. And ultimately, the why is incredibly important here. So we can boil this down to saying, do we place this on the model or the resource model? And to come up with that answer, if you don't already know this, and you probably do from a vague or a general perspective, let's look at the code to understand the full purpose of what we're talking about here. So I've pulled up in our example project here, I've pulled up a class. Let's jump into abstract extensible model, which does extend abstract model. Coming down here, we'll search for our save method. And we see that this is deprecated. I can't remember which version is utilized, 100.1, but this has been forever, basically, that it's been deprecated using this. So we have some options here. And if we are fully committed to, as I tried to outline in the practice test question, we have to determine, are we going to attach this to the model or to the resource model? If we attach this to the model, let's say the module developers came across this comment here in the code and they're like, oh shoot, we kind of blew it. We need to get this fixed. And so in version 2.3 that they push out. Oh wait, that's a Magento version. That was okay, whatever. So in the subsequent version they push out, they swap this around. Well, now all of a sudden you're going to push code at a later date. You might not notice. Maybe you will. Maybe you won't. I mean, it's not something that's going to really flag any type of code review. That the fact that they're now actually wouldn't flag a code review because they're now excited. The reviewer will be happy. Oh, they're actually working now within Magento code standards. So this is a good thing. So while it would work to put it here, the other question we have to think about is are we just wanting to intercept this, send email? I can't remember the save contact or whatever the method name was. Or we wanted to just intercept for this or everything. Now, if you'll notice, if we come back here into our slides, the purpose of this model seems to be explicitly to save. It's just a log model. So basically, it's associated with a table in the database that is associated with logging. So this model has no other purpose other than to save logging information. So as such, I have these two questions that I am asking myself in this process. First, is this going to change in the future? And second, what impact is it if I go with the bigger approach, the safer approach? And in this case, this is just a log method or a log model. So to answer the second question first, this is just a log model. So at the end of the day, it really doesn't, it's not going to cause any harm if something was to change in the future. And second, the harm would be caused if something did change and I attach it to the model itself. So for that reason, I select the round plugin for the resource model. This is the lowest level that I can actually get to. It's the recommended level that I can get to. And ultimately, I will intercept all of these saves because it is now being pushed out to the logs through the save method. So it's basically redirecting the database save into the logs. Now, nothing else is affected. We can load it up. In this particular case, yesterday that I was working on, there was a menu entry for this particular module that I was working on. It wasn't customer email inquiries. I had to change that around. There was a actual a menu item. And so for the sake of clarity, ease of use, I axed that out as well. So this is your practice test question for the week. I hope you found it helpful. This could be slightly controversial. So if you do find this controversial, please let me know. I would love your opinion, your thoughts on the matter, and let's get a conversation going. Thank you for watching.